Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Andrea Speaks TV. I'm your host, Andrea, here to bring you news and commentary you can use. So, excuse me. I want to say a happy Sunday morning to each of you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday morning to tune in and hear this information. I want to talk about a very important topic. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I see that some of you all are already here. Welcome. All right. I can only imagine. Good morning to you. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you and all of you for being here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. I was going to give everyone maybe a minute or two to hop on, but I think we're going to go ahead and get started. We have some people here live, and I want to respect everyone's time. So, again, thank you all so much. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that your family is doing well. Myself and my family were all doing well. Still getting over a sinus issue. You can probably hear it in my voice, but I do believe and I feel that I am getting better. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Today's topic. Well, before I get into the topic, before I get into today's topic, I want to share with you all that, on the channel, we talk about a lot of topics, right? We talk about food shortages. We talk about water shortages. We talk about the need to be prepared for what's currently going on and the things that are to come, right? We talk about all of those different topics. And so, what one of the things that I feel very strongly about is being prepared. Of course, preparedness, being as self-reliant, self-sufficient as possible, as much as you can, based on the area where you live and other factors. Well, um, I want to talk about, I've spoken about this particular area that I'm going to talk about. I've talked about it here on the channel, a couple of times. And I want to let you know currently what's going on in the area. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. All right, so this morning's information comes from Bloomberg. Okay, it comes from Bloomberg. And the title of the video, okay, or the title of the article from Bloomberg says panic buying in Beijing. Okay, we're talking about Beijing, China, as the you know what. Okay, I got to blur it out because we all know how the algorithm works, right? So, panic buying in Beijing, as we'll say, what caused the pandemic, or one of the causes of the pandemic surge, spurs creeping restrictions. Okay. All right. So people are panic buying. Okay. Now we know here on the channel, we've talked about that before. We've talked about how it is a very concerning thing to be in a situation where all of a sudden something comes up and unexpected, and you realize, oh my goodness, I don't have all of the things that I should have or need to have in my home, and you have to go out and purchase things. Okay. A lot of times people are, well, I won't say a lot of times, maybe many times. Okay. I'll just say many times. You could agree or disagree. Many times people may be reactive rather than proactive, right? Something all of a sudden happens, it's out of their control, and they realize, oh my goodness, I got to go out and get this and this. And they're panic. Okay. They're panicking. And then they find themselves caught in a crowd of people, and they are having to, possibly, run or wrestle to get the last bag of rice or the last gallon of milk or whatever they're buying. Okay, so I want to talk to you about this topic. This is a world news topic. Now you may say, okay, Andrea, I'm not in Beijing. Why would this even interest me? The reason why I want you and I to pay attention is because, hey, if it's happening there, we need to ask ourselves, hey, is it something that could potentially happen in our own area? Okay, no matter where you live, I told you all I'm in the southeastern United States. It could happen, in your area, whatever part of the world that you're living in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin reading the article. I'm also going to share some pictures with you just to give you a look at what exactly is going on. Okay, thank you all so much for your support and for your comments. Let's see. Right. So, a lot of people are protesting. Not everyone is in agreement with what is going on. I don't have a TikTok, so I haven't been able to see the TikTok video, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are some that are out there. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up my article again. Thank you all so much for your support. Please say hello in the chat. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would like to invite you to subscribe and join our community here on Andrea Speaks TV. Um, and I want to say again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, I'm just trying to pull the information up on the screen. Okay, there it is. All right. So according to Bloomberg, panic buying, panic buying is happening right now in Beijing as the surge. Okay, you all know what I'm talking about when I say surge, right? As the surge spurs creeping restrictions. Okay, I'm going to give you some details. Feel free to share your insight if you have any in the chat. Let me know your thoughts as well as your concerns. Okay. Now, in the caption of the article, I also have this on the screen. In the caption of the article, it says residents hunker down as restrictions spread across Beijing. Now, for those who are not familiar, I'm still doing my research on this as well. In the country of China, okay, they are more strict when it comes to dealing with their people. So it's almost as if, well, it's exactly like, when they say, hey, okay, we're going into lockdown, they really lock down their people. Okay. It appears that based on my research and my understanding, it doesn't seem like they have as many freedoms um, or maybe choices as we do here in America. Okay. What do you all think about that? Is that true? All right. So, according to the article, now this was first published on November 24th, which was what, 3 days ago, right? And it was updated on November 25th. Okay, so the article says that again, we're talking about Beijing, China. Beijing streets are deserted. Okay, listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Beijing streets are deserted, and grocery delivery services are running out of capacity. Okay, think about this, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. Think about if something like this could happen in your own area. And I want you to ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do to get prepared now in the event something like this goes on? Okay. Beijing streets are deserted and grocery delivery services are running out of capacity. Okay. As rising cases, okay, you all know what I'm talking about, right? As rising cases trigger lockdown like restrictions across swaths of the Chinese capital. Okay, Beijing is the capital of China. Okay, good morning to everyone tuned in. Thank you all so much for your supports. Okay, I see your comments. I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring what you're saying, but I'm reading the article right now, making sure that I get you all the information. Okay, I'll take a moment to go back and look at the comments a little bit later. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you, and welcome to everyone who is here. Please make sure if you find this information to be helpful or informational, okay, please make sure you like this video, share this video, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and join our community. All right. So in Beijing, okay, the streets are deserted, meaning no one's there, okay, and grocery delivery services are running out of capacity as rising cases, okay, trigger lockdown like restrictions across swaths of the Chinese capital. Okay, the city saw, listen to this, y'all. The city saw 1,854 new infections Thursday, up from 1,611 on Wednesday, as China's wider outbreak reaches record levels. Okay, so it seems that based on what I just read, that they're seeing like more of an uptick in this, illness. You all know what I'm talking about when I say illness that's going on. And so as a result, the people, the leaders, the officials, government officials of China or China or Beijing, China, are putting the people back on lockdown. Okay. Now, listen, y'all, we talk about food shortages, right? While food was plentiful, listen, y'all, while food was plentiful in many stores, okay, delivery apps like Alibaba Group Holdings Ltd's Freshipo. Okay, I assume these are apps that are used over there. I haven't heard about these apps here, but you all can let me know if they're used there. Okay, so let me read again. While food was plentiful in many stores, delivery apps like Alibaba Group Holding Ltd's Freshipo, known as Hema in Chinese, and Walmart Incorporated Sam's Club were overwhelmed. Okay, we have Walmart and Sam's here, right? They were overwhelmed as residents hunkered down. Listen, y'all, grocery outlets in Shoryang, which is Beijing's biggest district, no longer took delivery orders. Okay, they became so overwhelmed, y'all. They shut down delivery orders. Think about, because something like that possibly happened in your area. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Many restaurants halted even takeout services. Okay, so remember, I want you to get a mental picture, right? So, excuse me for coughing, y'all. Let's get a mental picture of what's going on, okay? Because of the uptick in illnesses, okay, allegedly, based on the information that I just read, was reported, um, the people are having to go back into lockdown, okay, lockdown like restrictions, it said. And as a result, they just can't freely move. This is where I was saying that it seems that in Beijing, in China, this particular area, it doesn't seem like the people have as many freedoms to move about, get the things that they need. It's almost like, hey, when you go into lockdown, you can't go, anywhere else. Okay. So, um, basically by them having to stay home, and I reported on the lockdowns before, by them having to, stay home, they're okay. Let me see if I can get my groceries delivered, or let me see if I can order takeout from a restaurant. Well, these if all of the people in this area is doing that, they're becoming overwhelmed, and as a result, they're having to shut down because they just don't have the manpower, they don't have the capacity to handle such a influx of orders and service requests. Okay, right. A lot of people say that this is another way of control. Being able to control the people, lock them down. Hey, you can do this, you can't do this. We've talked about that quite a bit here on the channel. Okay, thank you so much, Gator774, for sharing that. Okay. All right, let me continue on with the article. Again, thank you all so much for taking time out of your Sunday morning to tune in. I appreciate your support. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me see where I left off at. Okay. All right. So we said that many restaurants halted even takeout services and grocery outlets in Shoryang, which is, the article says, is Beijing's biggest district, no longer took delivery orders. Okay. Think about in your own area. Just think about in your local area. Okay. If you have the ability to, order delivery services to get your groceries delivered, or whatever, items from the convenience store, or Walmart delivery, think about that. What if that just shut down? If you were in a situation where you really needed to get what you needed, and for whatever reason you couldn't go out, and all of these services that could come to you shut down. Think about that, y'all. Okay. This is why, another reason why I say we all should be prepared, and have the things that we need at home, so that, if anything were to happen and we needed to stay home for whatever reason, we would have the things that we need to survive, and sustain. Okay. Thank you all so much for contributing your thoughts in the comments. Okay. All right. Let me keep going. Now, the article says that the surge, which has escalated from fewer than 100 um, illnesses a day a fortnight ago, it says, is leading to stepped up controls in the city of 22 million. Y'all, we're talking about 22 million people in this city. Okay. The article says that almost every district is seeing targeted lockdowns implemented piecemeal, often one apartment block after another, and residents have been asked not to leave Beijing unless necessary. Okay. And we've seen that happen from time to time, right? Um, Maybe even here in the United States, at one time it seemed like we were told, only for, think about when things first happened, right? Here in the US back in March 2020. It's kind of like, unless you need to go out, or, do you all remember some things like that being said, maybe in your area or in your state? Let's see what else the article says, y'all. Okay, let me. I'm gonna just go right here to see. All right, so here's a picture. The caption says it says a near deserted road in Beijing on November 25th. So you can see, I only see two people in the picture who are walking. I'm not sure why they're out. Maybe they had to go out. Maybe it was absolutely necessary that they go out. And so they are the only two people that I see. Okay, everyone else is inside or wherever they are. Okay. Okay, y'all. I just read something and I want to do some research, or maybe you all can share with me. In the article, it says almost every district is seeing targeted lockdowns, and then it says implemented piecemeal. Okay, what does that mean? Does anyone know what that means? Implemented piecemeal. I got to research that. Okay, I'm not sure what they mean by that. The article continues by saying that yet the restrictions are being rolled out quietly. Okay, the restrictions are being rolled out quietly as officials communicate through neighborhood committees and WeChat groups rather than with sweeping formal orders. Okay, so it's kind of almost like this is like a hush hush, quietly thing. WeChat groups, not sure what that is, but this is how they're communicating information through the neighborhood committees. Okay. The article continues by saying that the under the radar approach comes after a new 20-point playbook, okay, issued 2 weeks ago for containing the thing. You all know what I'm talking about, right? For containing the thing, told Chinese officials to avoid citywide lockdowns and mass testing exercises, among other shifts. Okay, yet adhering to the changes laid out by the country's top leaders have proven difficult amid surging cases and more contagious things. Okay, you know that there was one thing, and all of a sudden there are many other things that are coming out, and a lot of people have questions about that. Okay. Now, the article also says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you all so much for being here. Listen, I appreciate you all. Make sure you like this video, share this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Okay, I have many, many videos where I cover many different topics, and I'm on this morning because, people have sometimes said that channels incite panic buying, but I can only speak for my channel. And what I say is, I just share information. And the purpose of me sharing information is so that you can make a plan to prepare for you and your family to, um, survive and sustain and thrive through the times that we're living in and for what's to come. Okay. Let me keep reading. Thank you all again for being here. I appreciate you all. Now, the article also says that the capital, Beijing, appears to be turning into a ghost town. Listen to this, y'all. Streets were deserted in what were normally some of the busiest areas. Okay, and I showed you all that right here on the screen. Let me see. I'm gonna kind of go to maybe another one. Let me just change here. Okay, streets were deserted in what were normally some of the busiest areas, the article said, even during rush hour. Okay, subway ridership plunged more than 64% for the week through Wednesday compared to the same period in 2019, according to a Bloomberg analysis of transit data. Okay, schools, let's talk about schools in Beijing. Schools have been closed in a number of Beijing's districts with students told to return to online learning. Okay, think about that, y'all. Online learning. Okay, let's see. Most public venues, including cinemas and shopping malls, are shuttered while some public parks are open at 50% capacity. Doesn't that sound a lot like some of the restrictions that were put in place here in the US? Okay. Back in 2020 and also in 2021, schools were closed. Okay. The students had to return to online learning or online teaching and learning. Most public venues, including cinemas. Okay, think about it. We couldn't go in movie theaters. There was a time when we couldn't. The movie theaters were closed, right? Shopping malls. And public parks, it says only open at 50% capacity. Okay. The article also goes on to say that some officials appear to be deploying more excessive moves, typical of China's previous, um, you know what, zero approach. It says some of them appear to be designed to discourage movement without resorting to an official lockdown. Okay. Thank you all so much for your comments and your support. Okay. Let's see. Residents in the Fangshan district, southwest Beijing, were told multiple tests would be required to commute across districts. If a person travels outside of that district to go to work, for example, they would need to undertake 3 tests over 3 days on their return, according to a notice shared with residents of one housing compound seen by Bloomberg News. Okay, and that's actually what I have a picture of here on the screen. I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see it. And in the caption, it says that health workers guard the entrance of a residential compound in the Daxing district on November 25th. Now, again, y'all, like I said, based on my research and information that I've learned, you know, the people in this area, it seems like they're subjected to more restrictions, in certain ways, less freedoms than what we have here in the US. Now, can you imagine wherever you live at, your neighborhood, your apartment complex, wherever you live, could you imagine seeing something like this in the entrance of where you live at? Where they're saying, oh, if you have to go out for work or wherever or whatever you're doing, can you imagine having to come back and see this at the entrance of your neighborhood or your residence? And then you're having to, go through whatever procedure that they're, requiring you to go through. Very concerning, right? All right, let me keep on. Okay, all travelers coming into Beijing from elsewhere in China are required to provide a negative test result. You all know what I'm talking about. Taken in the previous 48 hours before they can enter public venues or ride on buses. Okay, this is what they're going through, y'all, in this particular area. Some apartment blocks are being locked down even when no illnesses have been detected. Think about that, y'all. They're just locking down the apartment complex when no illnesses have been detected. Okay. One woman's request to travel out of the city for an important business meeting was denied by staff at her housing compound, y'all. She's filed a complaint and appealed. Okay. Someone earlier in the chat mentioned that people are protesting, and I'm not exactly sure. If you could share the person that commented that about people protesting, why does it say they're protesting? Is it because they're saying, hey, why can't I do what I want to do? Or what is it exactly? Let me read this again, y'all. Somebody didn't hear this point earlier. Some apartment blocks are being locked down even when no illnesses have been detected. One woman's request to travel out of the city for an important business meeting was denied. Think about this, y'all. She had to get permission just to travel outside of her area. Think about that, y'all. She wanted to travel out of the city for an important business meeting and was denied by staff at her housing compound. And it says that she filed a complaint and appealed. Okay. Another building shut down because an illness was found in someone who lived there. And I quote, temporary control measures were put in place with no guidance given on how long they would last. Think about that, y'all. Okay. And then here's another picture. I'll bring it up on the screen. In the caption, it says a near empty street in the Sanlitun area in Beijing. Okay, that was taken on November the 25th. Okay, Beijing's leaders appear to be girding for a further uptick in illnesses. Let me switch the. Please make sure that you leave your thoughts on the topics covered in the video. Let's see what else the article says. Okay, hospitals, they're setting up makeshift hospitals with 200 beds open up in the suburban Yangqing district on Thursday, raising concerns that existing facilities may have run out of room. Okay, complaints about disarray and mess within these sites used to isolate certain cases, okay, and their close contacts have been shared widely on social media. I think someone earlier in the chat was talking about things that have been shared on social media, with people posting photos of dirty toilets, cramped rooms, and complain about chaotic management. Okay. Other cities have openly reverted to the old playbook as cases spread within their communities. Okay. Um, let's see. And then it goes on to talk about different cities in the area and what they're doing. Local officials, the article concludes by saying this, that local officials are struggling to reconcile twin imperatives of being less disruptive while also suppressing the thing or the illness in line with China's you know what, zero policy. Okay, while health officials and state media continue to stress adherence to, and I quote, dynamic zero, getting outbreaks under control without using the usual toolkit, as cold weather descends and more contagious, you know what's circulate, has proven challenging. Okay, so again, I wanted to come on and share with you about what was happening in Beijing, China. Okay, Beijing is the capital of China, and the fact that the people are now panic buying because they're being put on locked at what the article calls lockdown like restrictions. It sounds like, based on what I read, you all let me know your thoughts as well, but it sounds like that they're trying to manage this new outbreak as best as they can without going. Now this seems extreme, but apparently it can be more extreme there. So it sounds like that the officials in China are trying to manage these new outbreaks as best as they can without going to the extremes that they have before. But based on everything that's going on, is the article says it's proving to be challenging for them. Okay, so I'm going to keep my eye out on the story and bring you all updates. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me just take a moment to look at some of what you all have said. Again, thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday morning to tune in with me. Let's see. Okay, someone was recommending some people, other YouTube channels. Okay, you all make sure that when you do that, make sure that you recommend Andrea Speaks TV as well. I appreciate the support. You know, YouTube, there are so many different platforms, channels on YouTube. Um, and for whatever reason, you all feel a connection with my channel. So I appreciate your support. I do know that there are many other channels here on YouTube that share good information as well. Um, so I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. All right, massive protests in China. I'll definitely check that out. All right, I just reading. Okay, someone said that TikTok is the best place to see what's really going on. Okay, you know, there are a lot of concerns about TikTok. I've talked about that also, about as far as the security and the information sharing that that goes along with I guess having a TikTok account. I don't have a TikTok account, so I'm not sure how that works, but I do know in the news recently, okay, and even when it first came out, there was some concerns about privacy, safety, security of TikTok. Okay, I am familiar. I've learned a little bit about the World Economic Forum. I definitely need to see if they have a connection with Bloomberg. Bloomberg is just one news source. Now, I will say this, speaking of news, when it comes to news in China, okay, it's a lot of times it's hard to find news in China because they're so strict, and I don't want to say secretive, but they're a lot of times they're very strict with their media. Okay, we talked about control. Okay, let's see. Okay, TikTok for the real time reporting. Okay. All right, thank you. Someone said, love your level headed, fact based information must go. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate your support. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the topics that I covered? Does anyone have any questions, comments, final thoughts? Please make sure you comment below. And as always, y'all, I want to say thank you so much for supporting me here on Andrea Speaks TV. I appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to like this video, share this video, leave a comment, and also I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Join our community so that you can stay informed and connected whenever I do upload new content every week. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead, stay tuned to the channel. I will be doing more uploads. I'll try to get one more upload in before lunchtime, and then maybe another one later on tonight. But stay tuned. Make sure you check our community tab. Also, I did a very special Thanksgiving playlist from videos that I've recorded in the past that I think are very much still relevant for today. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, y'all. So it's not something that I just started yesterday. I felt the need to start this channel in 2021 after the pandemic started. And I said, hey, wait a minute, something's not right about what's going on. And I had a lot of questions, and even in just doing research, and I realized, hey, these are the things that are going on. Why don't many people know more about this? And that was my inspiration for the channel. Okay. Again, y'all be sure to check the community tab. That's where I post articles, I post information. So make sure you check the community tab. Also, whenever you do subscribe to the channel or as a subscriber, please make sure that you hit all notifications. That way, whenever I upload content, go live, or if I make a post in the community tab, you'll be notified. Okay. All right. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Keep prepping. Stay encouraged. And I'll see you all in the next video right here on Andrea Speaks TV. Y'all take care.